Hello and welcome, Model Kit Beginner. I hope you guys doing all right. Here we go for our weekly review, and today we're gonna have a look, as you can see, at the Citroen H. Now this particular one is from Ebro, and I have, right at the beginning of my modeling career, short as it is, I have built one from the fine folks over at Hella, if I remember correctly. Let's get the microphone closer. And funny windows, I can remember. Inside panels in the windows were all one piece, so you had to tape off the windows and that kind of stuff. So let's see if that one is the same. But anyway, I love these little French bulldog vans. Really, really lovely, from the 50s, and they drove those. I have seen them in the 80s, you know, and so that's fantastic. So I think we should have a look at that. But before we do that, let's have a quick look at the history. Go down memory lane for me, as it is, and see when this kit came out, and if it only was Ebro, or if it was Hella, or if they are both, or if they do it together. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's meet at Scaleweights. So here we are with the Citroen H, La Camionnette d'Antoine Grégoire. If I butchered that, I apologize. Anyway, here it is in 124 from the fine folks over at Ebro. If we scroll down, we see it came out 2016 as a new tool. Right, and if we look at the history, we see it has nothing to do with Hella whatsoever. However, if you click on this button and look at the extended history, you see some Hella stuff over here. And down memory line for me, because I've built this one before. No, not the complete kit. Let's have a look. Must have been something else. Ah, this one. I've built this one before. And yeah, it looks very similar, doesn't it? I mean, it is basically the same car. And but it had these funny windows, as only Hella can do them. And obviously the most famous of the Ebro ones was the Crêpe-mobile, which lots of people, lots of accessories, lots of parts in there. Was never a cheap kit, but it was very, very popular. Lots of people had them. And then the latest one from Hella is then a Citroen kit of a Citroen spare parts wagon. So as we can see, there are from 57 to 64. Right, but what does it look like in the box? Well, there's only one way to find out, and it's open the box and have a look inside. So I'll see you down at the bench. And here we are, down on the bench with the Citroen H, Antoine Grégoire. See the box right over here, Ebro 124 scale. Don't know if the boxes are in here as well. We will find that out in a minute. Then we have a bit of War and Peace here on the side. A very detailed English history of the car itself. Very interesting, actually. And model designed in Japan, obviously made in China, as they all are. Here is what you see on the side. On this side we have the same thing, just in Japanese. And that's about it. Nothing at the bottom. And here we are. Right. Let's open this up. And here we go. Right, we have decals. We have chrome parts. Can't be that many. They weren't very elaborate. We have cabin, it appears. Transparent parts. Some of them loose. Hey! Ouch! Not like that. And we have plastic. Kind of a semi-translucent grey plastic. Interesting. More plastic, more plastic. More plastic, more plastic. We have tires. Awesome. We have some other smaller parts, which we're going to have a look at in a minute. And we obviously have the instruction sheet. Right. So here we are with the instruction sheet of the Citroen H. Again, very detailed description and the history of the car. Here you can check all your sprues right over here. Plating parts, there's a little bit of photo etch here, no clue where that goes. And then obviously we start with the proper instructions. Here are the Tamiya paint colors which you can use if you use Tamiya paint. Otherwise you just have to convert accordingly. Right, the wheels, they start with the wheels. That's very interesting. Then we have the lower part of the engine. It's kind of a, you can't open the bonnet as such, so it's kind of a, what do they call it, curbside. Kind of a curbside. So this is all semi-gloss black, very, very simple. Then the front part of the frame right over here. And rear suspension right over there. Then on this side we have the exhaust and how you attach it. Seems to be quite tricky, so they made an extra figure for that. So if you're struggling how to get the exhaust in, as we sometimes are, there you are. Then you have the chassis floor, as they call it. So what must be semi-gloss black and what must be body color, they tell you very, very clearly. Then we have interior. We have the seats carriers, underside of the seats, and then those seats, which always in a French car looked a little bit like camping chairs. Ever owned a Citroen 2 Chevaux knows exactly what I'm on about. Yeah, quite flimsy, but the purpose they served indeed. Then we have different types of dashboards, it appears. So it probably depends on what year you are going for. Unfortunately, they don't say which is which. They just say that there are two different ones. So there's a little bit of research to be done to see which one is the older one. If I have a look, I would guess this one. Let me get there a bit lower, see if you agree. The other one on this side here, I think that would be the older model. Right. Then a front steering wheel. And then obviously we start getting the body together. It's always all very, very exciting to get that together and have that painted properly. You know, like the Revell Volkswagen. Always a bit of a bummer. But you can get that all together very nicely. It appears without putting the bottom on, and you can then add the upper body to the lower part later on. Then obviously you can have the doors if you want to have them open. Well, there you are. You can pose them open. Windows, and looking at those windows, number plates, sliding door on the side. Here we go. The nose over here with a metal inlet. I haven't seen that metal inlet anywhere in the box, but we will have a look. Ah, this is where the etching parts go in. As we see that, we'll have a look at those in a minute. And then go over, you do the lights, you do wipers, windows, certainly different from how Hella does them. Hallelujah, I'm so glad to see that. And so that will be easily installed. Don't have to do any funny masking. And that's it. That's the end. If you wonder, well, I know they put decals on, so they tell you exactly where the decals come on. There aren't too many decals here. How many decals are there? Well, let's have a quick look. Here we are. Gee, that's very tightly packed. Oh, look at that. There's the metal Citroen symbol. Very, very nice. And let's get this one out quickly. Right. I think the time has cometh where we go a little bit closer. Here we go. So you can see two different dashboards iterations right over here. Number plates, all kinds of modern or more old style number plates. Here the Citroen markings, here the maximum tonnage 1.2, and other signs, and a France label right at the back. So these are the decals. It's a simple truck, so it's not simple to build by the looks of it, but it's a simple truck. But it has dashboard decals, which is always instrument panel decals, which is always very, very welcomed. Glad to see that, and we will certainly make use of that. I'm just going to try to fiddle this back into the plastic bag, so it's nice and protected, and that has been done. Right. Transparent parts. Oh, let's do this. No, we can do that with the wheels. Transparent parts. Here they are. You can see they are not like the Hello ones, so they are real proper, just windows and lights over here. One is already loose, so I'm not going to open this one up. I hope you understand. Doesn't feel thick at all, so I'm sure they will be fine. Have a look at the chrome quickly. And that we can open up and have a quick look at, can we not? Here we go. All very shiny. Mirrors, it's basically mirrors and lights. This, I think, is at the wheels. Wipers we have over here. Here we go. Let me get into the camera. Wipers over here. And yeah, that's basically a couple of handles. So that's what the chrome parts are. Very shiny. It's too shiny for you. Obviously, you can do a little bit of a dull coat over it. Right, then we have pulley caps for the wheels. You all know what they look like. And then we have this package, which is the foliage part which you use for the step-in into the car. We have just seen that at the instructions. Very nicely textured there as well. Light, bright. Here we go. You can see it very nicely there. So they should be just fine. Tires. Let's have a look at those. Right, we have a tire here. You see, no seam. That's very cool. Tire looks pretty much original for the period. They are not branded. Yeah, would have been nice to have a Michelin branding on that one. That is the tires which the Citroens came out with. Right. Then we start with the plastic. Do we not? There we go. And here we are with the doors. Here the corrugated iron effect. We have the steering wheel right over here. This is a frame. This is the front part, or the nose, right over there. Firewall. No, this is actually the, yeah, it is a kind of a firewall. Outer wall where the radiator is in, that is molded in the radiator. Very interesting. And this obviously goes there, right over there. And then the second door over here. And this looks like the steering column right over here. Right. Let's get a little bit closer still. Here we go. Nearly perfect. Right, these are side panels. And let's take them out. You can see very nicely corrugated. This is where the sliding door goes. And then on this side we have the other side right over here. This is where on the Crabmobile, for example, this is open and then you can flip it open and sell your crabs from there, I suppose. So that is that. Very, very nice. Plastic, oh, feels elastic enough. I think it will be building up very nicely as far as the plastic is concerned. Then we have, oh, there's quite a bit on here. Let's see what that is all about. Right. So here we have the floor, as you can see on that side. Right, very nice. Gear levers over here, pedals over here, handbrake. Then here we have the seat undercarriages, more panels right over here. This is the frame right over here. And then the seats, which you can see over here. Let's just try. Here we go. You can see here it's kind of, you know, the beach seats which those French cars in that period all had. All very nice. Has a tiny bit of flesh, really nothing to write home about. So a little bit of cleaning up will be required. The next sprue is this particular one here, which appears to have a frame section right over here. Guess that's the rear part actually. We have the sliding door right over here, more panels over there, part of the rear construction over here, and then the roof. Pretty cool, if I have to say so myself. Even a little bit of a frame in here. So that's very nice. Bigger parts are over here, so lots of bigger parts if you want so. Now opening this one up, we have the oil pan basically, lower part of the engine, which you'll see right over here. Part of the suspension, kind of a dashboard thing here right over here. Not the real dashboard, that obviously goes on top of that, but yeah, the lower parts of that. The front frame right over here, we have the exhaust, which has been mentioned in the instruction sheet. We have that where you hang your old-fashioned number plate on. Wheels right over here, 4 wheels and a spare, very nice, very nice. The drum brakes, which kind of do not really stop you, but retard forward movement. That's basically what it boils down to. Yeah, that's what you had to live with, but that was quite normal at the time. We have part of the suspension parts, steering parts right over here. Here we go, front suspension, and all is here. Pretty cool. Then last but not least, we have the cabin here. It's interestingly packed. See how we get this open. I'm not going to reuse that again. Right, this is on a sprue on its own, and yeah, it has the non-corrugated roof section right over here, the handles to get into the car, front part right over here, and then obviously that's where the doors go. That's pretty clean actually, not bad at all. So you should be able to build that up very nicely. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I have to say about the Citroen H from Ebro as far as the bench section is concerned. And I would say let's go back upstairs and I'll tell you my final thoughts. See you there. And here we are, back upstairs with the Citroen H. Oh, wrong side, here we go. There you go. Gee, that light is bright today. And certainly looks a nice kit out of the box. If you are not too put off by the body which you have to assemble yourself, sometimes can be a bit challenging just to make sure that you get it together perfectly so you can paint it and all that kind of stuff. But apart from that, very nice 50s car, 50s French van. Really gives you some of the old French vibes. So very nice indeed. Right, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please leave a like or leave a comment, and I will put a link to my Facebook page into the description. as well. Well, thanks very much for popping in. All the best to you, and greetings from Cape Town.